making headlines this hour. Minister of Education, Higher Education and Skills Development Dr. Ismail Shafiu says all teachers, not only special educational needs or SEND teachers, must be familiar with inclusive education. Dr. Asad Muhammad Shahid, a Maldivian anesthesiologist and pain specialist, is appointed president of the SARC Association of Anesthesiologists, or SARC-AA, a role that rotates every 2 years among member states. And State Pharmaceutical and Medical Supply Corporation Managing Director Dr. Shah Mahir says the company still needs more than 100 pharmacists to expand and strengthen its services.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. The Parliament's Decentralization Committee approves the appointment of 2 individuals to the Local Government Authority, or LGA Board. Among those who applied for appointment to the LGA Board, President Dr. Muhammad Muiz submitted the names of 2 candidates to Parliament on the 10th of August for consideration and approval. The nominees submitted by the President are a female member with experience in the field of gender equality and a member with experience in governance or public administration. For appointment to the LGA Board as a person with experience in gender equality, the President nominated Aishat Arifa of Tiburozoge, Gadu in Agaftal et al. For the position representing experience in governance or public administration. He nominated Muhammad Arif of Ravila Kanditimo Shaviani et al. At the meeting of the Decentralization Committee, Vilufushi parliamentarian Hassan Wahid proposed approving both nominees, saying that both had received average interview scores of more than 75 marks. The motion was seconded by Nilandu parliamentarian Fatimat Sauda. The motion was approved unanimously by the committee members present. The LGA Board consists of 9 members. The government submits a significant amendment to the Income Tax Act aimed at doubling the withholding tax imposed on foreign contractors involved in local construction projects.
The bill, introduced to Parliament by Mativeri MP Hassan Zarir on behalf of the administration, proposes increasing the tax rate from the current 5% to 10%. The primary objective of the amendment is to establish a more competitive and fair environment for Maldivian businesses. By increasing the tax burden on non-resident contractors, the government seeks to ensure that local firms can compete on equal footing during the bidding process for major construction contracts. Under the proposed changes, the 10% deducted from payments made to non-resident contractors will be considered the final tax payment for that specific income. The amendment further specifies that such income will no longer be included when calculating the party's general taxable income, simplifying the tax process while ensuring the state captures its due share. According to financial projections submitted alongside the bill, the Maldives Inland Revenue Authority, or MIRA, estimates that the tax hike will generate an average of $16.3 million in additional annual state revenue. The proposal has received strong support from lawmakers during the preliminary debate. Belidu MP Muhammad Abbas highlighted that the move is crucial for the survival of small and medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs. Echoing these sentiments, Ihavandu MP Ahmed Nasir said that the change is part of a broader strategy to rectify the economic negligence of previous administrations. While he cautioned that the full benefits, including increased dollar inflows, might take 2 to 4 years to fully manifest, he emphasized that the bill paves the way for equal opportunity. Fuamula South MP Ibrahim Hussein added that the current system, which allows foreign contractors to operate with minimal tax contributions, is unsustainable for a developing nation.
Parliament's General Purpose Committee approves a proposed change to the standing orders that would allow additional petitions to be submitted on a matter even when a petition concerning the same matter has already been filed.
Fonadu constituency member of parliament Muhammad Mamdou proposed repealing a provision in section 257(1) of parliament's standing orders. The proposal was referred to the General Purpose Committee for review. Under the existing standing orders, a petition cannot seek an action that has already been requested through a petition previously submitted to parliament. The proposed change comes as a petition has been submitted seeking the withdrawal of an amendment to the Decentralization Act proposed by Tuladu constituency member of parliament Abdul Hannan Abu Bakr. A decision has also been made to submit another petition to expedite the amendment. However, the existing standing orders prevent another petition concerning the bill from being submitted while the current petition remains under consideration. The General Purpose Committee approved the proposed amendment to the standing orders with the votes of 7 members present at the meeting.
Minister of Education, Higher Education and Skills Development, Dr. Ismail Shafiu, says all teachers, not only special educational needs or SEN teachers, must be familiar with inclusive education.
The minister made the remarks at the inauguration of the Educator Professional Development Program for Equity and Inclusion, which aims to familiarize teachers, leading teachers, and principals working in schools with inclusive pedagogy. Minister Dr. Shafiu said teacher training is one of the highest priorities in the education sector. Several hundred students are already studying under the National Teacher Training Program, including those training to become SEN teachers. He said that when the initiative began in 2024, a shortage of teachers for students requiring special assistance was identified, particularly in schools in the atolls. With the online platform launched through the program, teachers will now be able to develop their knowledge of inclusive education regardless of where they are based. Minister Dr. Shafiu stressed that familiarity with inclusive education should not be limited to SEN teachers. All teachers, he said, must be prepared to teach every child without discrimination. He said the education system has a responsibility to establish a mechanism that makes the professional support teachers need as easily accessible as possible. A course dedicated to inclusive education has now been established through the NIE platform, while leadership programs will also be introduced. Courses tailored to different key stages and specific subjects will also be introduced, he said. Minister Dr. Shafiu encouraged teachers to make use of such opportunities and develop modern skills so that they can provide students with the greatest possible support. 7 e-learning modules have been developed under the Educator Professional Development Program for Equity and Inclusion and are now available to schools through the Eduru portal. The modules cover universal design for learning, differentiated instruction, assistive technology, teaching strategies for autism spectrum disorder, managing challenging behavior for students with ADHD and ASD, early identification and intervention, and design thinking. The modules are designed to familiarize school staff with inclusive pedagogy and strengthen the capacity of teachers and school leaders in the area. They are self-paced and can be completed at flexible times. The ministry said those who complete the modules will receive an Inclusive Educator Certificate through the portal. The program is being implemented by the Department of Inclusive Education. As part of its pilot phase, 35 people from 10 schools have already used the program, with the initiative set to be expanded to all schools.
Dr. Asad Mohammad Shahid, a Maldivian anesthesiologist and pain specialist, is appointed president of the SARC Association of Anesthesiologists, or SARC-AA, a role that rotates every 2 years among member states.
The Ministry of Health, Family and Welfare announced the appointment, noting that the position offers a strategic platform for the Maldives to deepen regional cooperation in anesthesiology, critical care training, research, and workforce development. The ministry said that Dr. Asad's leadership will enable Maldivian doctors, anesthesia technicians, and nurses to engage more closely with experts across the SARC bloc, facilitating knowledge exchange, joint training programs, and access to technical resources. Director General of Health Services, Dr. Ahmad Ashraf, highlighted the pressing domestic need for specialized anesthesia personnel, as currently only 11 Maldivian-trained anesthesiologists serve in public hospitals, while the remainder of the workforce comprises expatriates. Speaking to PSM News after a meeting attended by Minister of Health Gila Ali and senior health officials, Dr. Ashraf outlined plans to develop anesthesia training for nurses and technicians through the Maldivian National University or MNU School of Medicine in collaboration with the Ministry of Higher Education. Discussions with SARC member associations also explored establishing regional curricula and capacity-building projects to address the growing demand for anesthesia services as surgical volumes rise across the atolls. The ministry affirmed that Dr. Asad's tenure will position the Maldives as an active contributor to regional healthcare advancement, leveraging the SARC-AA forum to strengthen national anesthesia and critical care capabilities while building a sustainable, locally trained specialist workforce.
State Pharmaceutical and Medical Supply Corporation Limited, or State Pharma Managing Director Dr. Shah Mahir, says the company still needs more than 100 pharmacists to expand and strengthen its services.
Speaking on PSM News Rajamyud program, Dr. Shah Mahir highlighted the shortage of pharmacists currently working at State Pharma. Dr. Shah said the number of pharmacists working at the company's pharmacies to dispense medicines remains insufficient. He said more than 100 pharmacists are needed to further strengthen the system. Although efforts are underway to recruit pharmacists, he noted that recent recruitment advertisements had not received a strong response, adding that the company is also seeking to recruit pharmacists from abroad. He said State Pharma is also working with colleges and universities in the Maldives to train pharmacists. As part of these efforts, the company is preparing to establish an agreement with the Maldives National University. He added that in addition to pharmacists and clinical pharmacists, doctors would also need to provide support in the company's efforts to ensure the supply of medicines to the public. He also noted that pharmacists' salaries need to be reviewed further. Dr. Shah said employees involved in logistics also need to receive relevant training. He said efforts are underway to train staff involved in streamlining warehouse operations and medicine distribution. The company is also working to recruit additional employees to ensure the quality of medicines, provide them with the necessary training, and recruit the required technical personnel. State Pharma currently supplies medicines through 193 pharmacies across the Maldives. The company is also working to strengthen systems for the safe storage and distribution of medicines to different islands in coordination with hospitals and health centers.
A 1.2 megawatt solar photovoltaic PV system established in Ba Edafushi is officially inaugurated.
The system was developed under the Accelerating Renewable Energy Integration and Sustainable Energy, or ARISE project, implemented with assistance from the World Bank. Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Ali Sharif, officially inaugurated the system at a ceremony held in Edafushi. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Sharif highlighted the importance of establishing such systems and the economic and social benefits they bring to islands. He said the system would significantly reduce expenditure on fuel, allowing the money saved to be used to facilitate other projects. The project was implemented by State Electric Company Limited, or STELCO, which provides electricity services on the island as part of the government's efforts to reduce the Maldives' reliance on diesel for electricity generation. Edafushi, the capital of Ba Atoll, has a population of 3,539. With the new system, the island will have the capacity to generate 33% of its total electricity consumption from solar energy, equivalent to enough clean energy to meet the electricity needs of approximately 441 households. The project, carried out with an investment of approximately $3.63 million, includes a 1.2 megawatt ground-mounted solar PV system and 1.5 megawatt hours of battery storage capacity. It also includes a modern energy management system designed to fully balance solar-generated energy, battery storage, and diesel generators while maintaining grid stability. Before the system was established, Eida Fushi's powerhouse used 2 million liters of diesel annually to generate electricity. The new system is expected to save 655,000 liters of diesel each year, reducing the island's annual fuel expenditure by approximately $518,807. Solar systems are planned to be established on 14 islands across the Maldives under the project. The initiative forms part of efforts to reduce reliance on diesel in the islands and expand environmentally friendly and sustainable energy systems.
Maldivian, the national airline of the Maldives, introduces a range of new services under the name Journey Plus to provide travelers with greater convenience.
Maldivian said the services were introduced with the aim of offering travelers greater convenience and flexibility when organizing their journeys while taking into consideration their individual needs and preferences. In the first phase of the initiative, travelers will have the opportunity to customize their travel arrangements according to their requirements under the Journey Plus sub-brand. 5 services will be available to travelers under the first phase of Journey Plus. These are Journey Plus Premier. Travelers on domestic flights will receive priority check-in and baggage handling services. International travelers will also have access to priority boarding. The service can be purchased for $16.12 on domestic flights and $25 on international flights. Journey Plus Bags. Travelers who require additional luggage will have the option to purchase extra baggage at affordable rates. Maldivian said domestic travelers can purchase additional baggage in increments of 3 kilograms, 6 kilograms, 9 and 12 kilograms, starting from $9.70. On international flights, additional baggage of 5 kilograms, 10 kilograms, and 15 kilograms can be purchased, starting from $25. Journey Plus Relax. Travelers will have access to Maldivian's designated lounges. The service will be available at the Mumina Lounge in Male and the lounge at Daravandu Airport, starting from $19.42 according to Maldivian. Journey Plus Upgrade. On international flights, travelers will have the opportunity to upgrade from economy class to business class, subject to availability. Journey Plus Bites. Travelers on domestic flights will be able to pre-order a package of snacks and beverages to be served on board. The Journey Plus services can be purchased through Maldivian's call center, Viber, WhatsApp, ticketing offices, and sales agents up to 24 hours before departure. The second phase of the initiative is planned to include additional conveniences such as seat selection. With the introduction of these new services, Maldivian said it will further strengthen its efforts to improve the quality of services provided to travelers and develop a more comfortable and convenient travel experience centered on customer needs.
Insights into business. Novo Nordisk CEO Mike Doustar says investors are underestimating how much the fast-growing obesity drug market will diversify, arguing that patients will increasingly choose treatments based on factors beyond weight loss alone.
Novo's Wegovy and Eli Lilly's Zepbound dominate the booming market for GLP-1 medicines, but Doustar said competition will not be a winner-take-all battle between the two companies. Analysts expect the obesity drug market to exceed $100 billion annually by 2030, and more than 100 million U.S. adults are classified as obese. Doustar said patients are beginning to recognize differences among GLP-1 medicines, including their effects on cardiovascular, kidney, and liver health.
I am very much of the opinion that the health benefits of these drugs outweighs just the cosmetic looks of losing weight. People have to, of course, lose weight, and through losing weight you get a lot of health benefit on its own. But many drugs have proven to have beyond the weight loss benefits. If you think about semaglutide, before you even start losing weight, after 2 weeks of taking this drug, you start seeing protection of your heart and kidney and liver, reduced risk of stroke, as proven in and mentioned in the label of semaglutide.
He also emphasized that obesity should be viewed as a chronic disease requiring ongoing treatment. The comments come as Novo seeks to regain momentum after losing market share to Lilly's Zepbound, and as investors focus on the company's next generation of obesity medicines. Duster said Novo expects a regulatory decision later this year on CagriSema, an experimental combination of semaglutide, the active ingredient in Wegovy, and cagrilintide, an amylin-based drug that helps regulate appetite. Novo is also betting on oral obesity treatments. Duster said the company's Wegovy pill has captured about 90% of the oral GLP-1 market, adding that some patients may ultimately prefer pills over injections.
Updates on world affairs. Residents of Qusra says the Israeli military was seen in the town following a week-long siege imposed by militant settlers attempting to drive Palestinians from their land.
The military presence coincided with efforts by local municipal workers to repair damaged infrastructure. Under the watchful eye of patrolling soldiers and military vehicles, municipal staff worked to fix water pipes along the roadside to restore essential services to the local population. Settlers have been besieging homes in Qusra for almost a week, intensifying pressure on Palestinians in an area where rights groups say settlers are mounting a concerted effort to seize more land, further eating into territory where Palestinians aim to establish a state. Palestinians say the enforcement distinction is meaningless in a territory where they are subject to Israeli military law, while settlers are governed by Israeli civil law. They accuse the military of aiding the settlers and using the enforcement distinction as an excuse for inaction.
Moving on to sports, Cameroon claims a first Women's Africa Cup of Nations title when they thumped surprise package Malawi 3-0 in the final as Marina's first half double helped seal victory.
Cameroon had lost 3 finals but made it 4th time lucky against a Malawi side making their debut at the Continental Championship and who are ranked 153rd in the world and 32nd on the African continent, having had a fairy tale run to the decider. The 2 finalists had already sealed their place at the Women's World Cup in Brazil next year, along with fellow semi-finalists Morocco and Algeria. The latter finished 3rd after winning the bronze medal fixture on penalties on Saturday. Under pressure, FIFA chief Gianni Infantino was all smiles as he handed the indomitable Lionesses their medals in the presence of Confederation of African Football President Patrice Motsepe, with several players requesting photographs with the Swiss. Infantino has long enjoyed the support of many on the African continent as he bids for re-election next March, despite revelations of his now abandoned plans to sell a stake in the future World Cups that drew worldwide condemnation. Cameroon dominated the first half and led 3-0 at the break after a superb performance against an outgunned Malawi. Ga reacted quickest to a loose ball in the box to give them the lead from close range change after 20 minutes, and they doubled the advantage on the first hour, marked as Naomi Ito added a second. Malawi were clinging on and hoping to make it to halftime without any further damage, but Nya scored her second in the third minute of added time from Ito's pass. Cameroon are the fourth different winners of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations since it was played in 1998. Nigeria have a record 10 titles to go with 2 for Equatorial Guinea and 1 for South Africa.
Concluding with entertainment, thousands of motorcyclists dressed as superheroes and Disney characters rides through Buenos Aires to deliver toys and joy to children at Garahan Hospital for Children's Day.
The 20th Annual Solidarity Convoy, organized by motorcycle group Kawa Club since 2006, departed from the Argentine polo field and wound through the city before arriving at the country's most important high-complexity pediatric hospital. Organizer Fernando Rivera said the initiative was inspired by a similar Easter convoy to Glasgow Children's Hospital in Scotland. Children eagerly embraced their heroes and posed for photographs. Rivera said he never imagined the event would endure for 2 decades, adding that the experience brings a happiness that fills you and makes you feel that it's worth doing all of this.
And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.
Mihar PSM ge channelata adohala balalelene. Android TV takun Google Play Store ya wade PSM application select koloma pahu download kollawa ehawas fasihawana. आ दुनिये आ जमाने मुलिंग आ फतिहे මේ එස්සිනාතෙ ගෙහියනි නුකුමೆ ಇಕ್ತಿಸೋದಿ ಆ ಉದರೆಹಗ ಹೇರಿಯಾ ಕುರಾಮಿ ವಗುತು ಗೊಂಡುದೋಷ ಭರೋಸಾವು ನಿಮಿ ಈಜಾದಿ ವಿಸ್ನುಮಾ ಸಿಂದಫಾತು ಇಕ್ತಿಸೋದೆಗೆ ಕೊಳುಮತಿ ಇಕ್ತಿಸೋದುಗೆ ನುವದಿಹ ಇನ್ಸದ್ದ ಹಿಸ್ಸಾ ಕುರಾ ಕುದಿ ಕುದಿ ಕುಮೆವಿತಕುಗೆ ಬಿಯ ಬೋಡು ನುಫೂಜಾ ಅವಸ್ ವಿಂದುಗೆ ಅಡು ಕುರಿಂ ಹಿಮೆನ್ ವೆಫಾವ್ ಎ ದಾಯಿರಾತ ಹುಳುವಾಲಾ ದಿವೆಹಿ ಉಫೆದ್ದುನ್ ತೆರಿಕ ಅಸ್ದಂಡಿ ಬೇರಗೆಂದಾ ದತುರುಗೆ ಫೆಶುಂ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಖಂಡ ಎಳುಂ ಮುಸ್ತಕ್ಬಲ್ ಬಿನಾಪುರು Me Business Studio.
Business Studio, co-sponsor ROL.
ದುಂಫದುಗೆ ಇಸ್ತಿಮಾಲ್ಗೆ ಸಬಬು ಆಹಾರಕು ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಮೀಹುಂ ಮರುವೆ ಮೀಗೆ ತೆರೆಯಿಂ 1.3 ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಮೀಹುನ್ನಕಿ ದುಂಫದುಗೆ ಇಸ್ತಿಮಾಲ್ ನೊಕುರಾ ಮೀಹುಂ ಮೀವಾಬಾಗೆ ಅಸರು ಇನ್ಸಾನಾಗೆ ಹಶಿಗಂಡುಗೆ ಹುರಿಹಾ ಹಿಸಾಬಕ ಫೋರಾ ನಿಕೊಟಿನ್ನಕಿ ಎಯಂ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ದೆವೀಫಾಬಾವೆ ದುಂಫದುಗೆ ಸಬಬುಂ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಹಿತುಗೆ ಬಲಿ ಫೊಪ್ಪಾಮೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಕ್ ಫದಬಲಿತ ಜೆಹೆ ದುಂಫದುಗೆ ಇಸ್ತಿಮಾಲ್ ಕುರಾಮಿ ಹಿಗ್ಗ ಹಯಾತುಂ ದಿಹ ಅಹರು ಉಣಿವೆಗೆಂದೆ ದುಂಫದುಗೆ ಸಬಬುಂ ಅಂಗ ತಗಯ್ಯರುವೆ ಬಲಿತ ಜೆಹುಮ ಮಗುಫೈವೆ ಮೀ ತಿಮಾಯ ತಿಮಾಗೆ ವಶಯಗಂವಾ ಮೀಹುನ್ನಂ ಹುರಿ ಪೊಡು ನುರಕ್ ಕಲೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆಂಗೆ ಸಲಾಮತ ದುಂಫತಾ ದುರ್ಹದಿವಮ
ಹುಟ್ಟಾ ದಾಫಿ